Hello viewers, welcome to Global Window. Aji moi ide Livingstone Foundation International Dimapur Nagaland de ahignase to aji ite a state level conference seminar on foundational literacy and numeracy NEP by G20 by the Central Board of Education CBSE New Delhi in commemoration of India's assuming the presidency of G20. To Ivy, idulaga conference upor de aming han miligan na saisaw.
Today's conference is on foundation literacy and numeracy, NEP as well as G20. The better side of the NEP, we are just discussing that whenever we talk about education, there are expansive education, but what is the quality of education? Very recently, Niti Aayog has come up with the index of education in India amongst the larger states as well as among the smaller states. In the larger states, Kerala becomes the one. And in the smaller states, Manipur is the one, the first. And Nagaland is in the 5th position with 48% of marks. So you see that why we are, as for example, as because I am now serving Nagaland, I am more interested in this state and its education from the school level to the university level. Bring about changes in the quality of education. And there I think that this topic is very important, not only the NEP, the foundations of literacy and numeracy. What is a literacy? As a layman, I understand that literacy ultimately helps us to communicate, to read, to write, and to communicate. And which is always, it's a part of a human being. We always need to communicate. We always need to communicate in the greater sense of the term. Whatever we understand, we need to communicate. So therefore, reading, writing, and communicating is very important. In the same way, literacy, numeracy, that is the numbers. The simple numbers are required in the plus, minus, multiplications, and divisions. And these two are always the way of life. Whenever we have to, these abilities always make us to stand in the day-to-day activities of our life. Whenever we go to purchase anything, you need the numerology. Anybody. So therefore, you see that these two are very important, and these are the foundations of any kind of an education. I am not talking about the language. The literature, you may be, now it is being told that the mother language is the best language to start with. But nowadays we know that you are living in a modern age and you need various kinds of languages also, not only on your mother language but other languages. The more language one can acquire, it is always an advantage, I believe. Therefore, that school education, always we need to emphasize that we have to improve on the quality of school education. But other facets of life are also very important, because ultimately we have to fit in the society at large. We have to contribute positively to the society. I think from those angles, I think that new education policy will be very helpful.
Why this G20 was formed, and what is the relevance of us as students, as educators, as innovators? There is one point where I would like to delve on. The G20, as our professor has said, that it was formed as an international forum to tackle issues related to global economy, such as the international financial stability, climate change mitigation, and sustainable development. So because of three major issues, the G20 was formed 23 years ago. Now, from my background, I questioned myself, okay, how can I contribute in this G20 presidency that's happening in my country? So of the three areas that why G20 was formed, I thought maybe in the climate change mitigation and sustainable development, these are two areas where I can also contribute in some way. And this was what I thought the students, like you, students can also be part of in this G20 presidency when it's happening in our country. We still have 5 more months to go. It's going to end in November 30. Started last year in 1st December during our statehood day in Kohima. Environmental awareness, as we all know, is having an understanding on the environment, the impacts of our human behavior on it, and the importance of its protection. That's called environmental awareness. So, and to define environmental awareness, we also must first understand environmental movement or environmentalism. Environmental stewards can be broadly classified into 3 categories, where I'll tell you where all of us can fit in. First are the doers. So doers are people who are active in environmental aid and are hands-on. They're ready to get their hands dirty, to rough it out, to go and pick the garbages, such as volunteering to clean up your colony, to clean up your school, to clean up the sewages, garbages, or in some countries to clean up the oil spill. So these are doers. So I think this is where all of us can fit in. Some of us, I mean, especially the students, we can fit in. We can be the doers. Number 2 are the donors. I can see my finger pointing right to you, Chairman, here. Donors can contribute. They did not get their hands dirty. They need not rough it out in the streets, but they can contribute to a cause financially, which is commonly done through fundraising. Livingston Foundation is a perfect arena, I should say. It's a perfect avenue. It can be a launching pad for fundraising or personal donation, and benefactors of this category typically can also come from government agencies. So those are the donors. Number 3 are the practitioners. So who are the practitioners? They are the stewards who work on a day-to-day basis in the political field of environmental stewardship.
Livingston Foundation International. We have just started this program, which is a conference for the state level across Nagaland, and we are privileged actually to have this hosted. In the Northeast, they have selected about 7 states. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned in the morning, that we could not take into Manipur because there have been some crisis over there, for which we are very saddened, and I hope that peace is restored at the earliest. And then right now we are having this program, especially in context to the FLN and the Nep and the G20. So we have eminent speakers. We also have the Vice Chancellor from ICFAI, who was a former, also the professor in the IIT, which ranks 7th in all over India in Assam. And then we are having this program so that we understand the new policies that have been created by the government of India, which is immensely good for the young children. Those will be coming up, and we know that the old system of education, which has being redundant, I would say that there is a change. So I hope that the education system across India does not follow the old traditional system where only marks and grade was given the privilege or given the attention. And in fact, the merit list also is no more there in the CBSE now. We do not give attention to the top 10 and top 20, but we give rather to all holistic approach. So I feel that where the NEP is concerned, I guess now only 40% of the marking will be considered, and the rest 60% will be looking at the different aspect where co-curriculum and other activities also will be taken into much importance. And especially when we're talking about the skills, this is also very important, because all cannot make it as a scholar, because we have different skills, and I know that every children are in their own perspective. They have a very fantastic role that they can play in whatever ways they can. It's not that only the bookish knowledge brings you to become somebody great. I've seen across that bookish knowledge has now no more in the modern world. They are more interested, and to see that when we look at the modern world, they are into looking at the conceptualization of understanding, making the student think. I think that is more important rather than to make them think and to memorize. And I would also like to mention that especially the coaching centers and the tuition has become a menace because it is only making them a robot, I would say that. And we understand that the old school of thoughts, especially the teachers, what they used to do is they give the notes or they give the maths kind of a formula or whatever the step that is being done. And if you do not answer the exact word by word, we don't get marks. And also some of the maths steps which they have given us, provided us, if you do not perform that, they'll say, even if your marks are, even if your answer is right, but the step which I've shown you, it's wrong. So where did you get the steps? And they want that to happen like it's only their step that should be followed or the answers that should be followed. It is not that in this modern world. In this modern world is that what you understand, what is the concept, you can answer in whatever ways. So these are the formulas which I feel that the new education policy has taken up for the betterment. And I know that the children are fantastic, I would say that. We cannot undermine a backbencher just because he did not get a grade A plus or 100 upon 100 doesn't mean a student is bad. A student, everybody I've seen in my own practical life, 90% of the students who are backbenchers have made it much more better in life than those who have even got the toppers. Not demeaning them, not undermining them, but we need to adapt and adopt the good situation that the NEP has come in, and I'm very thankful to the Government of India, and especially all the state also will be implementing the new NEP, and also the G20, and not forgetting the FLN also. Today's participation, we have more than 20 schools because we could not call upon everybody from across because of the time factor was number one, and also we could not accommodate over here. So we could accommodate what we could. So about more than 120 participants are here as of now, and there will be also a painting competition which we could not do it on the spot because of the climate and also that, but they have brought it, and there will be it's about the particular theme that we'll be doing today. Yeah.